Title: Elisha's Provision, the Multiplication of Oil for the Widow. In the midst of despair and destitution, Elisha demonstrates God's provision and abundance through the miraculous multiplication of oil for a grieving widow. In 2 Kings 4:1-7, we witness the widow's encounter with Elisha and her desperate plea for help. Through Elisha's guidance, her meager supply of oil is miraculously multiplied, providing an abundant provision for her and her sons. This powerful manifestation of divine providence serves as a poignant reminder of God's faithfulness and compassion towards those in need, offering hope in the midst of adversity. The narrative unfolds with the introduction of a widow who finds herself in dire circumstances, facing overwhelming debt and the threat of losing her 2 sons to slavery. 2 Kings 4:1. In her desperation, she turns to Elisha, the prophet of God, for help, knowing that he is the only one who can offer a glimmer of hope in her time of need. Elisha responds to the widow's plea with compassion and assurance, asking her what she has in her house. 2 Kings 4:2. Her response reveals the extent of her destitution: a jar of oil, a meager possession that seems wholly insufficient to meet her needs. 2 Kings 4:2. Yet Elisha sees beyond the limitations of her circumstances and offers her a solution that defies human logic. He instructs her to gather empty vessels from her neighbors and pour out the oil she has into them, promising that the oil will not run dry until all the vessels are filled. 2 Kings 4:3-4. The widow, despite her initial doubt and uncertainty, obeys Elisha's instructions with faith and diligence. She gathers the vessels as instructed and begins to pour out the oil, witnessing the miraculous multiplication before her eyes. 2 Kings 4:5-6. As she continues to pour, the oil flows abundantly, filling every vessel she has collected until there are no more left to fill. Only then does the oil cease to flow, having provided more than enough to meet her needs. 2 Kings 4:6-7. Through this miraculous intervention, the widow's faith is affirmed, and her needs are abundantly supplied by the gracious provision of God. What began as a moment of despair and hopelessness is transformed into a testimony of God's faithfulness and compassion. The multiplication of oil for the widow serves as a poignant reminder of God's provision in times of need. It challenges us to trust in His unfailing promises and to seek His guidance and direction, even when our circumstances seem insurmountable. Moreover, the story underscores the importance of obedience and faith in receiving God's blessings. Despite the widow's meager resources and the seemingly impossible nature of Elisha's instructions, she chooses to trust in God's provision and act in obedience. Her faithfulness is rewarded with an abundant outpouring of blessings. Additionally, Elisha's role as a conduit of God's power and provision is highlighted in this narrative. Through his guidance and instruction, the widow experiences firsthand the miraculous intervention of God in her life, reinforcing Elisha's authority as a prophet of God. Furthermore, the story reveals the compassionate heart of God towards the vulnerable and marginalized. In His infinite wisdom, God chooses to intervene in the widow's plight, demonstrating His love and care for those who are suffering. Ultimately, the story of the widow and the multiplication of oil serves as a timeless reminder of God's faithfulness and compassion towards His children. It offers hope and encouragement to all who find themselves in times of need, reminding them that God is ever present and ready to provide abundantly beyond all that we could ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20.